from Senegal to Sugar Hill, trace the bloodline. 100 years of brilliance through the color line. They thought the shackles broke but kept the mental chain. Langston penned the future while they legislated pain. Harlem's ballrooms birthed the cosmos in mahogany, while lynching trees still decorated southern botany. Josephine, Wakers, pearls, and Garvey's Navy ships. Du Bois debating destiny with scholarship on his lips. The Renaissance was a renaissance, it was resistance, fam. Every trumpet blast from Armstrong was a battering ram. They gave us minstrel shows, we gave them Sora Neal. Turned depression into art, made the fabricated real. Cotton Club excluded us from tables every set. To form the Deanest Nightly, never free from the debt. But Bessie Smith could shatter glass, shatter cash, shatter lies. Every note she sang contained a revolution in the sky. Build temples from the rubble, make cathedrals from the struggle. Turn the margins to the center, now they study what we scribble. We build temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from. Fast forward through the decades, watch the pattern reassemble. Malcolm's speeches, Martin's marches, every voice begins to tremble to the earth until the structure shows its fractures. FBI was tracking every coon with every pastor, every actor. 40 acres never came but 40 minutes on a stage. Can reconvene your consciousness and channelize the rage. From bebop to hip-hop, the fool lines mathematical. Each generation weaponized the beautiful, the radical. They gave us Reagan, now there's crack and mass incarceration. We gave them Public Enemy and blueprints for liberation. The Harlem Renaissance never ended, just evolved its form. Every freestyle cipher is a brainstorm, is a storm. Where the children of the talented, the tent that was prophesied, inherit the fire that the water couldn't wash aside. They tried to write us out the narrative. We offered all on text, 100 years of proof, and that we're destined where was next. Temples from the rubble, made cathedrals from the struggle. Turned the largest to the center, now they study what we scribble. We built temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from.
All right, everybody, this is Under the Groove Podcast. This is where we see no evil, speak no evil, and hear no evil. Everything here is, as we say, above board. Welcome, everybody. Grand Rising to those who understand and accept what that means. It's a good look. It's a good look. Trust and know that. I'm here. Hopefully, everyone's going to tap in and let's get it on. Let's touch bases with the people, have those conversations that we love having. That means something to us, at least. Probably, pick up a little something along the way. I think that's the benefit or the reason why we do what we do on Under the Groove, touching bases with the people. Come on in here. I see you, Queen Nzinga. Good evening to you as well. We sending shots out, man, to everyone, man. Hopefully everyone is doing well. All right, Lisa Moore, I see you. She says, Grand Rising, Queen Nzinga. Blessings to you, and hey, big bro, peace and love to the kings and queens in the chat. B1, black love. All right, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it should be. Before I get started, I want to drop this and say, I have a new channel, All Things Politics. When you people get an opportunity, you get a chance, you have some time in your day, go check that out. Please like, share, subscribe, comment as well. Hit that notification button because I'll be dropping a lot of content on that in the coming days, as much as I can get out, and again, I'm doing this, to perfect the craft, so to speak. But go check that out at All Things Politics. Okay. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to that channel. Let's help get that channel off the ground, up and running as it should be. There, we're talking about politics, just not nation politics, but geopolitics worldwide. We're going to discuss a little bit of everything and how a lot of the politics that takes place, not just here in the United States, but around the world, affects us even here. So your subscription and you're checking out the channel, going in and, just giving it the time of the day would mean a lot. Or we would appreciate it. So thanks to that, or thanks for that. Queen Nzinga says, good evening and abundant blessings to the Royal Group congregation. B1 equals black first. I see a typo there, but that's okay. Yeah. All right, Anthony Tibbs. Indeed, the link. Indeed, the link, bro. Or are you saying include the link? I think that's what you're saying. Include the link. Yeah. Yeah, include the link. I'm sure that's what Anthony is saying. Indeed. Oh, indeed. Oh, okay. See, I'm picking up something again. No, he said, I need the link. All right.
put it on Indeed.
Yeah, I need the link. All right, man. We're gonna get that link to you. Right about now. And I tell you, I tried to pin it earlier. That's another part of this get down. I'm coming to terms with really knowing how to do this stuff without having to go bother brother-in-law to say, hey man, I need you to, So I'm picking this stuff up, but I'm enjoying it as I go, man. That's the truth. I think this is a good look. I think it's a good look. I'm gonna put it down in here though. Yeah, that's it right there. Hold on tight, people. Oh, you did? Thank you. All right. I'm gonna put that. I don't know why I did that. All right. All things politics. All right. One second, everybody. That's better, right? Yeah, that's better, right? Okay, there you go. All right. Hey, I appreciate that, Anthony. So that's in there. By tomorrow, I'll have it down pat where I'm able to, it'll be pinned in there before we even get started. That goes for Under the Groove as well. But again, man, thanks, man, for jumping in and saying, hey, man, put the link in there. Appreciate that, man. All right. And peace and blessings to you and yours while we at it, man. Welcome. Glad to see you back amongst us, brother. Raymond Skull, 102, man. Peace and blessings to you and yours and the Rays, man. Hopefully everything is everything. Like, it's a habit of mine to just do that, man. I hope everyone is well, brother. Living well, man, prospering, man, and being positive. That would be a good look, man. You're going to say peace to you, bub. Hope that all is well with you and your family. Salute to the kings and queens in the group. We are well on this end. I have to say, no complaints, man. No complaints. Y'all know how we say that, man. Complaining ain't gonna help nothing, right? So we got to get in, man, and get with it, man. No matter how it may look. Hey, stand 10 toes in this thing, man. Life is happening. Life is happening. That's the truth, man. Okay, she put it in there, 26. Okay, I didn't do that, but yeah, Queen Nzinga hooked it up, right? Thanks for that, Queen Nzinga. All right, yeah, no doubt, right? And no doubt, man. Young Situation. All right, love, OG. Love right back to you, Young Situation. This is the first. Glad to see you in here, man. Being a part of this, this congregation, man. We get in here and we chop it up, man, about those things that matter to us as a people. And it don't have to always be serious. You know what I'm saying? We can get in there. We can talk about movies. We can have joke. We can joke, laugh, but it's all about love and respect, man, first and foremost. That's what we do here, man. So you coming in, man, just keep that in mind. All right, brother. You're more than welcome to be here. Your presence means a lot to us. Thank you for coming. All right. So I did some I left work today, man, and I went to the studio and I dropped something on Under the Groove, man. I recorded it and dropped it because I thought it was necessary. Again, you guys know I don't get into that fray, man, that BS that's going on, man, in social media, man, where brothers are always attacking brothers. One day you see them, they cool, they smoking blunts together, having to drink together, chop it up, ha ha ha. It's all good. And the next week, man, it's all bad. It's F you and F you, you a witch, I'll fuck you up, I'll beat your ass, the shit is crazy, man. It makes no sense for brothers to be doing this. I'm trying to understand why brothers do this, man. I mean, what are they getting out of this, man? What are they getting out of this, man? Brothers, man, 1 minute cool, the next minute just at each other's throat, man. And they chopping each other down at the knees, man. The shit don't look good at all. It don't look good at all. It looks like it's just some infantile stuff, man. And these are supposed to be grown ass men who, in all, honesty, man, they profess to be grown men, but they don't represent those examples, what example of a man should be, at least not on social media, and I'm gonna tell you, man, that I think that's the first place you always want to comport yourself in such a way to where, man, there's no critique, man. There's no critique, and if there is critique, it's now and then, that's because somebody just hates you, don't like you. But come on, man, this stuff we seeing, man, it makes no sense. All right. It just don't. So I went in and I did about a 30-minute thing on this, man. And it wasn't harsh, it wasn't nothing, it was something, but it wasn't that, I was heated, but I wasn't, I tend not to get in my feelings, man, when we're discussing this type of, conduct that really, it should upset all of us. It should just upset each and every one of us to a level where we be like, hey, man, damn all that, man. This is for naught. It doesn't serve a purpose other than, keeping content or beef going. And I see that play and I'm telling you, that's one of the worst plays, man. Just the whole Get Down lacks integrity, the whole Get Down lacks integrity. And I'm just saying, man, if you got a friend and you see that this is this person's character, this is how they get down, and it's always some messy stuff for trying to keep something going, man, you should have sense enough to always from that point on get that person 50 feet. Then if you have another friend and all they doing is talking about other people's business, essentially gossiping, man, you better make sure you don't tell that person nothing about what's going on in your life. Because if you do, chances are it's going to get in the street. It's going to reach the streets, man. There's no integrity, man. There's no integrity, man. There's no, to me, no self-respect. Not only that, but no respect for the community. These brothers have opportunities, man, to bring something better to the table. And this is what they, wasted this opportunity on. I don't know why it's like that, but it is. I can just imagine them being told by those who run everything, hey, man, this is how you got to get down if you want to eat. You want to eat, this is what you must do. And they're like, all right, boss, this is how I eat. And they in it. They in it, man. And I don't, man, your dignity, man, your integrity can't be worth that, man. You should not be willing to sell your soul, man. It makes no sense, man. It makes no sense. And again, even for those who say they got bread or got bread from this platform, YouTube or whatever, man, it still is not the type of bread that amounts to the type of bread that the creators of YouTube have. It ain't the type of bread where any of y'all can go in your communities and decide to build a facility for those who need to be in the facility so they can get something worthwhile other than what y'all putting out on social media. It ain't the type of bread, man, where cats went and bought hundreds of acres of land and took the whole family down and say, man, this is where we're gonna build our legacy. It ain't that type of bread, man. Not to say it's not that type of bread is not something that we can have. We can't attain that level of monetary wealth. We can't. But I think that the reason why we haven't or we don't is because we don't know how to act. We don't know how to act, man. We don't know how to act, man. It's always some showboating, or it's always some, some dissension, some conflict, anything that can come into play to help a brother real quick to lose anything he's attained or accomplished, especially when it comes to money, most brothers and sisters we see, man, that's in the light, celebrities, man, you always see mess. You always see mess, man. They're always there for the camera. They putting it on extras for the camera. We're seeing this though on a lower level. Social media, I think, is the lowest level of entertainment, if you ask me. You know, dudes ain't in movies. They're not producing movies, you know, directing movies, you know, financing movies. I mean, serious movies that's going to get us to the theaters, you know. It's going to get us to the theaters and get them that type of bread they need, man. Not only that, but like not just that type of bread they need, but the type of bread that can help us, the people. Don't give nobody nothing. That ain't what I'm suggesting. I'm saying, man, if y'all got this type of bread and y'all talking the way y'all talking, well, you know, one in particular, one individual in particular, then, hey, man, how is it or why isn't it that you're doing something other than this, man? Something other than this, man. You know, I don't know, man. It just, like I said, boggles the mind. It's frustrating. You know, it's disappointing. You know, and it's shameful, man. The brothers will act this way, man, towards each other. Towards each other. You don't see this type of behavior towards nobody else, especially those who would exhibit or display this type of behavior to you. You know, it makes no sense. When the Mexicans was going in and saying what they were saying, man, these brothers wasn't on that shit like that, man. You know, or how they should have been. You know, it just wasn't there. You know, but let a brother say something. Let a brother say something that would offend them, and watch how they go up. That's what's sad about this stuff, man. That's what's sad about this stuff, man. Brothers got it backwards, man. Got it backwards. Telling you, that shit ain't nothing fly about it. It ain't cute, you know. It don't look good. It's just sad, man. But yeah, so I dropped that today, man. And I just, you know, I didn't want to throw my hat in the ring because, like I said, I didn't name names and that because that's not that I'm not gonna get down like that. I just, you know, I'm pretty sure one of many who is disappointed in this stuff, man. Got to be something better for us to do on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok. I'm telling you, there's so much more we could be doing, not just to help ourselves, which you would do, but to help your people. We're sitting up tearing up, man. We already tore down. We're already in ill repair, man. And it's just demolishing what's left. Demolishing it, man. And that's sad, man. That's sad. Anyway, you know, that's what it is, man. Again, man, appreciate you in this Get Down Young situation. Love right back to you, bro. Anthony Tibbs said, man, you just don't know how you helped me solidify my mission off the gems and jewels you dropped over the past 2 years. Hey, brother, you know what they say about paying something forward. I think, you know, for me, that's how I look at things, man. Everything I know through my experiences, through my interactions with others, and especially the things I've learned through those interactions or experiences, if it's positive, man, I'm obligated to pay that forward. You know, someone gave it to me. Hey, man, that's what it's for. That's what it's about. We're supposed to give it away. We ain't supposed to house it, keep it, man. You know, we see a lot of brothers do that, man. They get something like, no, mine. You know, real simple stuff, man. Just to give the people what they need. Give the people what they need. The people need, man. We need nourishing, man. You know, we need identity. We need education, man. We need positivity. We need unity, man. You know, we need prosperity. You know, all those things I think, man, add to or create a better life for all of us. That's what we need, man. But that's not what we're getting. And I'm telling y'all, there are individuals who have an opportunity daily to deliver that to the people, the jewels, man. Just drop the jewels, man. And when they jewels, man, brothers and sisters, this is how we are. We know jewels when we see them. You know, we'll pick them up. We'll pick them up, man. You know, might not use them that day or tomorrow, but they will come into use. You know, that's just what we do. These gems and jewels, man, they're plentiful, man. Our people, that's everybody, they pick up our jewels, man, and they regurgitate, reiterate things we say and do. We rich, man. We already rich. We just don't know it. But yeah, man, what I do because that was what was done for me. You dig? Like I said, I've been raised by some of the best, man. You know, I was not the hardest dude, the downest dude. None of that, man. I think I just got my lessons differently. You know what I mean? The lessons I got from brothers outside of the lessons I got from my family, man, jive. They mailed it in to, they came together with everything I already had, man. And here I am. This is what it is. You know what I mean? So, uh, hey man, it's a pleasure, man, to know that brothers like yourself, Anthony, you see something in the situation that's beneficial to you, and you take advantage of the opportunity, man, to bring that into you, man, to make it work for you. If it's helping you, man, I appreciate knowing that it's helped you. Like I tell the brothers that lace me, whatever, when I see them, I tell them, I appreciate you, man. Because it's only because of the jewels and the gems they drop that I'm able to be who I am today. So yeah, man, that's free, man. That's free, man. And every brother and sister ought to have access to gems and jewels, man, dispensed by their brothers and sisters, man, to help build them up, make them better people. That's it. That's all I have to say about that, man. But you going to say, you just don't know how you helped me solidify my mission off the gems and jewels you dropped over the past few years. Again, man, I appreciate hearing that, brother. And knowing, not just hearing that I've done, but knowing that you made use of something, man, that's benefiting you, man. And if it's benefiting you the way you putting that, it's going to benefit those you love most, man. And in fact, it spills over, man. Pass them out, bro. Pass them out, man. Going to get that jewel, hand to somebody else, hand them gems to somebody else, and allow them to get what you got, in the hopes that they will get what you've gotten from this, man. So I appreciate you, Anthony. Yeah. You're going to say, I appreciate your wisdom and will, homie. It is what it is, y'all. Real spit. You also say it's contagious, bro, as it should be. As it should be. And because you said that, something just struck my mind, man. I'm gonna do a piece tonight on all things politics. There's a damn epidemic taking place in the country right now, and they're not even talking about it, man, as they should be. They say measles, man. There's a measles epidemic, man, and it's spreading out throughout the country. And when I first read it, I said, man, here they go again, man, experimenting. Here they go. Here they go. How the hell do you have a measles epidemic? A measles outbreak? And immunization, I know a lot of people didn't have their shots. The kids, it's mandatory nowadays that kids got to get these booster shots or whatever they call them. How's this possible? What's really going on? That's something to talk about, though, man, because I'm telling you, man, we're being attacked, man, on all fronts, all levels. We look at how politics have worked against us, mostly, though, just in terms of finance, economics, or society, racism, institutional racism, shit like that. We don't look at it in terms of health, and well-being. That's the first thing they want to attack with us. The body, the body, if not the mind, one or the other, but shoot, to them, both the fair game, and in fact, they've moved on, but they still experiment. They still drop shit out there, man, for us to, in the hopes that it weakens us in some form or fashion. But man, the mind and body, they already been attacking this. Now they're after the soul. They're after the soul. The piece I dropped earlier, I'm telling you, attest to that. Like, brothers don't have any souls, man, no conscience, no morals about themselves, man. We are under attack, man, in more ways than one. Know that, man. Know that. Anyway, man, yeah, Anthony, I appreciate it. You said it's contagious, bro, as it should be. In this respect, yeah, it should be. We should have all kind of channels, man. We could go to 50 or 60 of them and pick up some jewel, some gem that's going to be beneficial to us. We should have that. We don't, but we should. It's not to say them channels don't exist. They do, but they're hard to find. They're hard to find. Sometimes you got to put in the right keyword, or I don't know, with the algorithm. It depends, man. But it's something that's doable. You know what I mean? You can find them. Search hard enough. Raymond Skull said these guys who go back and forth on YouTube are some influential brothers who can share positive messages to our people, which can help change our communities. Can't put it no plainer than that, man. There was nothing complicated about that statement, because you don't need complicated statements to get a point across. Your point, I got it off the bat. I'm pretty sure everybody else did. But what's the problem? What's the problem as to why they won't do this? You know, what's really going on, man, with these brothers who have influence? You know, most of them have anywhere from 50, 60,000 followers to 200,000, 300. You know what I mean? What's stopping these brothers from doing the right thing? I'm telling you, I wonder about it. You know, I wonder about it. You know, and I think this is something. See, in that respect, yeah, we want to, think about that. Try to understand why brothers are willing to go the negative route rather than the positive route, knowing what they know. We all in the same boat, like I said, man. Knowing what they know, haven't had the experiences they've had. And if they didn't have them, someone very close to them has. What stops them, man, from saying, all right, man, let me drop this rather than that? Let me feed my people something nourishing. Give them some real sustenance, man. What's stopping that? I'm aware of what, if I was able to ask this question directly to some of them, what the answer would already be. First and foremost, a lot of them would say money. That's it, and that's basically it, But it's a sad occasion, man, or it's a sad circumstance, man, when we see this going on, when it doesn't have to. This does not have to be going on, y'all. And again, let me address this. There's that. There's the fact that these individuals, this is all they see. Let me drop this content that's going to keep beef going, keep conflict going, where I can instigate violence to a certain extent. You know what I mean? There's that. There are those guys who do that. But then there's us who tap in. We boom, go straight to the page, man. And every time we do that, man, we're helping to prop up this BS. It's the same way we say, well, at some point in time, we got to stop pointing the finger at Whitey. And, hey, man, we can got past, man, some of the harshest shit can be done to human beings. We know what it is, so let's move on. And that be the mindset for the most part of most of us. We move on. We don't sit down and, do that. Brothers, man, are different in that respect. Sisters are different in that respect. We know the stuff is harmful. We know this. And yet, for whatever the reason, we go back and watch. Well, I'm going to watch just 2 minutes of it. I'm going to watch 5 minutes of it, And then in the course of that, you hit the like button. You may share it. You leave a comment. Matter of fact, shit was so good. Let me hit my notification bell so when I drop it again, I don't miss it. And go a step further. Let me subscribe. This is the year of accountability. We have to be accountable, man, for most of this stuff. And like I said, if most of us who watch this stuff would stop, it should have changed, man. It would change. I'm telling you, it would change, man. But we got to be willing to stop. And like I say, turn the faucet off, y'all. All right. Yeah, Raymond, I get you, man. These brothers are some influential brothers, man, and yet this is what they would rather do. not understanding how they could, man, that brain could go sky high, man. If sky's the limit, if money is really the thing that drives them, some real money, man, just start dropping that positivity up in there. See if your subscriptions don't go up. Your viewer time, see if viewers just don't flock in, man. Get them numbers up. But nobody's willing to try that, because in a lot of their minds, it don't pay. And again, I beg to ask, okay, what's pay? Bag of change they give you, is that money? Is that real money? Compared to if you did it another way, another, in another style of doing it, if the content was different. You want to make some real money, man, it's out there. Like I said, I watch channels where brothers and sisters, they got like 450,000, 500 some thousand, 300, numbers. And they're talking positivity. I go look and see how long have they been up, Some of them been up for 5 years. A couple of them been up for 10 years, Few of them been up for only 3 years. Numbers. The content is the total opposite of what I'm talking about now in terms of what we're used to seeing on YouTube, on those channels that dispense that BS. So it's not like they can't do it. I just think that they don't want to do it. They're stuck. And stuck, man. And then they want to have everybody else stuck in this box. Have us locked in this box, man. Locked in the box, confiscated the key. There's only one key, maybe two. And they're not trying to open this thing up so brothers and sisters can be on the outside of this box, really expanding, really getting things done, really growing. It's crazy, man. Yeah, we have gatekeepers, man. And they're dead serious about their job. It's not a job they decided they're going to have. It's a job somebody came to them and said, we pick you. And hey, fulfilling that position, they're in. Sad, man. All right. Hey, young situation, shout out right back to you. Appreciate you, man. Like, share, comment, man. Subscribe if you see fit. This is Under the Groove, touching bases with the people. This is where we get down with the Get Down, y'all. Every Tuesday, now Wednesdays and Thursdays, maybe Friday and or Saturday. But we're going to try to get 4 days in a week now. I think it's worth it. They'll be seeing a lot more of Under the Groove, and they'll be hearing a lot more, especially when it comes to our Royal Groove congregation chat, man. They'll be getting to bar us, man, for real. We're going to up the ante in this dizzle, man. Queen Nzinga says they are no better than the pink people that continue to do things to keep us down. And they're still not going to get a seat at the table. Damn shame. Hey, that's the truth, though. But you can't convince them of that, because they don't recognize that any of them people that they are able to rub elbows with, there's still a certain position or role you have to play. And then those people may be on the low end of the get down. You know what I mean? Yeah, someone might be, might know somebody, but they're not the ones, man, that, if you really going after something big, that, they wouldn't be the ones, you know what I mean? Because the ones are not going to waste their time fucking with you. It's just not how they get out, and if they do, they're fucking with you to dictate to you. They're going to dictate to you. That's just what it is, man. So yeah, sad, man. Damn shame. That's right. They're conquering the souls now. They're conquering the souls. Anthony Tibbs said they're conquering the souls through the demonic frequencies, mainly music. I BS you not, man. I was telling somebody I was telling the group, the World Group Congregation, I think last week, we are talking about my job and the Mahindas over there, the Mexicans, man, and when they talking Spanish, for whatever reason, it's just a vibe with me, you know what I mean? And I don't profess to know Spanish at all, But I think, man, what I listen to, I'm a human being, I'm a melanated person. The frequencies and the way words are spoken are released. You know what I mean? I catch that shit. And I be on that shit. Like, hey, what? You got something to say? Hey, be a man, say it to me, But I'm saying that to say frequencies are everything, especially with us, man. And they're trying to kill our frequency. And we got individuals, man, from our community, melanated people, assisting them to kill our frequency. Facts, man. Facts. You kill frequency, man. You tampering. You're trying to kill the soul. You're trying to destroy the soul, man. And that's what a lot of these brothers are doing. They're helping them to destroy their people's souls, their own as well. So I hope they don't think for a minute they'll be spared. Dumb fucks. Lil H Top 11 Deuce. You say, what's up, Big Bud? Free Wild Bunch, man. 112. He asked about you, man. Tell the loved one I send my regards, my love, man, and my respect, man. Tell him that, hey, man, stay focused on the focus. Stay focused on the focus. You want to get free? It starts with this first. And free your mind, man. Got to free your mind, man. That's the only way. It's the only way, man. You're going to release yourself, get yourself released from their bondage. Tell him to free his mind first, man. And everything else going to come to him. He'll get out of there. He will get out of there. But he got to be willing, man, to let go a whole lot of shit. That's the truth, man. That's the truth. And when I say that, I'm saying it because I mean it. Like I said, I love my community, homie. And I still, there's a few of them, man, I pull up, we hang out, hey, man, when we get to talking serious shit, man, we talking serious shit. I'm not with the destruction of the community or the people. Homie. Don't serve us. It serves everybody but us. All right. Tell him free his mind, man. In fact, this is what all of us need to do. Those in the community that's in what they in, of going about life the way they're going about it, gotta free your mind, man. Free your mind and your ass will follow. Trust that. Yeah. All right, man. Get a loved one minds though, Lil H Top. God's girl. Hello, God's girl. How are you tonight? She said mindset. Let's send her. She says mindset. I think they're saying they have to change. She's saying they have to change their mind. Yeah, but same thing. You have to change the mindset. You have to change what you're thinking in there, man, because most of the time, what we're thinking comes out in our words or is displayed in our actions. You know what I mean? So change the mindset. You change the words, how we speak and how we go about, relating or communicating to people. You change that, man, from here, there to your actions. It's all on the same accord, man. Free your mind, your ass will follow. Thank you, God's girl, for tapping in. Appreciate you. Really do. Thank you. Come back now. Come on back. In fact, what you can impart to the Royal Group congregation, I think, are gems. It's priceless. So just to hear your take on, the situation, especially dealing with or pertaining to our communities, it's worth hearing. I think the people should hear from you, if it's just in the comment form. I'm working on getting this thing. I got the Zoom hookup, y'all, so everybody know. I got all that stuff, and I'm in the process of learning how to just someone to call in. All right, call in. Let's go. Let's have this conversation. And Cindy would be a good candidate for that. I think Cindy would be a great candidate for one of our first Zoom guests. Yeah, y'all can hit her with the questions, you know. I think that'll go over well, man, with the World Group congregation. The RGC would love having her in there. Trust that. Raymond Skull, man, he says, look, I believe when some of our brothers get a large amount of money, they don't consider themselves like the ones in that daily financial struggle. So our problems aren't their problems. I think that's true. I think that's true. You know, but I think also, what I think also is true is that when we get, or those of us who are able to get a lot of money, with that comes a whole lot of more problems, a whole lot of other problems, you know. And I think that's because we have no real financial literacy. You know, we don't know that, you know, we don't know better than to not flaunt, you know, what we got or what we have on another brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? We don't know that that's not cool, you know, and we do that because we don't know that of having finances, having money is something more to that than just, you know, showboating and flossing. You know what I mean? That's the thing that a lot of us don't get. We have no real concept of money and what it's really supposed to do for us, how it's supposed to help us out, or help us not just out or through something, but make ourselves, make our lives better and leave a legacy for those coming up behind us. That's what that's about. We're not taught that though, you know, and therein lies that phrase, miseducation. We've been miseducated again on a lot of fronts. We don't understand how money works or how it should work for us. You give a brother $50,000 or $100,000, guess what he's going to go do with it? Most of them gonna go spend it on trinkets and the most asinine things, man. You know, they're not gonna invest that money. You know, they're not gonna put that money to use or in a trust to guarantee or try to assure or put in place something for the family, a legacy. You know what I mean? It's a whole lot, man, going on with us, man. A whole lot. We're lacking a whole lot of information and education, man, and it shows. It shows. Yeah. So yeah, when brothers get money, they're gonna lord it over the next brother. I got more money than you. I heard a dude saying this the other night, man. I got more money than you, man. How many? Some about closings, you know, escrow or real estate, you know, and I'm like, man, come on, man. Come on, man. That shit ain't cool. That shit ain't cool, man. I mean, again, man, to what end? For what purpose would you do that? Makes no sense. But yeah, that's part of our problem, man. We get some money, and the first thing we do is to lord it over one of our brothers and sisters. Look what I got. You ain't got it. Therefore, man, you know you're beneath me now. That's cool. That's cool. Jay Stone, what it do, man? All right, little one. I see you. I see you. Grand Rising for sure, for sure. Yeah. Stay focused, man. Stay focused. You don't do nothing else, man. Stay focused, man. You know, get positive, become positive, man. You know, do those things that matter, man. That's going, you know, like I say, we say this all the time. Do those things that's going to propel you to a higher standard of yourself first. You know, take care of you, man. Love you, man, to the point where, you know, that's nothing for you to do with somebody else to look just like you. So stay doing you, bro. All right. One love. All right, Bam, I see you. OG Bam, Compton Front Hood. I hung out with Bam the other night, you guys. You know, we chopped it up for a bit, man. And yeah, man, Bam is a is a brother. Like I've said this before about Bam. You know, everybody say on the yard, Bam's crazy. Bam was crazy. Bam, yeah, it could have been, but Bam was a smart brother too. You know, so I wait for them times with Bam. You know, and he didn't basically check somebody or put them in their place legitimately. You know, in the right way. You know, tell them how dumb, you know, the things that they're doing is. You know, I wait for them to get through that conversation. Me and Bam chop it up. You know, we'll chop it up, man. You know, it's some what we're doing, what he does, what I do is some same things we done on the yard, man. You know, same things, man. You know, so it's always an appreciation, man, when I'm able to, you know, run in the Bam and talk to Bam, man. You know, and get his take, you know, his take on Black life, man. You know. And in fact, man, I'm going to let that cat out the bag. Yeah, he's coming on the show. Hopefully this weekend. You know, he said, Bub, you gotta let me be myself. But Bam, when to have a trust you OG Bam, homie. You know, do you. Keep respectful. Do you though, you know. So yeah, man, the floor at the table gonna be yours, you know. The table gonna be yours. I might have a few questions for you and shit, but other than that, man, have at it. You know, we need to get the message out there, man. This is what we're talking about the other night. It's a lot of work for us to do, man. We have a lot of work to do. And another thing, man, Bam, you just one of many, man, but you're one of many, but only one, only a few. You're one of only a few willing to get up and say what needs to be said. That's the difference, man. That's the difference. And this is why I respect you. You know, you're OG through and through. You know, you say what it is, man. You know, you mean what you say. And you carry yourself that way for the most part. I haven't seen, like I said, man, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I haven't seen where you showed your ass, you know. So, hey, man, have at it, man, when you get here, man. Have at it. All right? That's the business, man. You say it's most definitely worth it. Tell the truth, man. All right, Justin, today we see you. Hello yourself, brother. All right. Do the thing, man. Part of this get down, man. Don't forget it. Don't forget it, man. Appreciate you being front and center, man. Hopefully you and yours are doing well. Again, man, always welcome. All right. You are welcome. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, it was worth it, bro. And we had a ball. For real, for real. Love you back too, bro. For real. Sunday if possible. I already told you to get down. Don't worry. Yeah. Got you. Got you. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Shit. Lil H Top said, appreciate that, big homie. I'm gonna tell him. All right, yeah, give him my love. Like I said, bro. Tell him to free his mind, man, so he can free himself. You know, leave it up to them people. He'll sit there, man, a couple more decades or whatever, man, however they see fit. You know, when they get tired, they kick you out. You know, I had a situation in there, man. I got out 10 years early. This year, May, is when I was supposed to came home. Something was just bugging me like, hey, man, well, what was bugging me was I kept having this thought that I didn't want to die in prison. I didn't want to die in prison, man. I want to see my mama, you know, my brothers, man, my wife, you know. I didn't want to be there, man, you know. And if something happened to me, I wouldn't want it to happen there, you know, that my end would be in there, you know. Yeah, man. So start to free my mind, man. Okay, how do I get out of here? Took me a few years, but here I am. Here I am. I'm going on 10 years, man. I'm going on 10 years out of here, man. And I have to say, man, it's sad as it is to say, as long as I've been on the streets, man, since I was, 12 12, 13 years old, man. All right. So it's possible. Anything is possible. Like we said, we could change the world, man, if we just trust in that, you know. For some of you, if you believe in it, it can be done. We could change the world, you know. Good stuff, man. All right, Lil H-Top. Raymond Skull said, man, I realize that everyone don't want change. True. People are mentally stagnant and suffer from an arrested development. I was once like this until I checked my ego. Once I did that, I began to mature. I'm telling you, man, that's the story. You know, we've all been through some of the same things. Some of us, though, may look at our experiences different. There may be a different aspect to the experience that someone else don't have, but we've all been through something, man, in order to get to something. I hear you loud and clear, Raymond. A lot of our brothers, yeah, their development is arrested. That's the truth. You know, that's the truth. And again, I say, man, it's sad to see older brothers displaying this this retardation, you know. Older brothers. You would think, man, brothers, you know, I don't know, especially after you've been out there and you know better, man. I mean, you know, at some point, man, you would think brothers be like, all right, man, enough of this. Let me get together, man, because it's needed. I need to get my shit together. I got people, man, depending on me, whether they know it or not, you know. Yeah, man. Sad shit. Glad to see you've come a long way, though, Raymond. Raymond Skolden come a long way, man. What that snow look like, man? I got the pictures, man. I'm like, damn, y'all snowed in, man. I have a brother in Oklahoma, man, and he you know, this dude think he Jerry Dumpty or somebody. All day long, man, he's sending these videos. It ain't as bad as what I see you going through. I mean, there's snow, and I'm pretty sure it's cold. But he's making like, man, a blizzard, man, of proportions unheard of, you know. I'm like, man, I can still see the grass, man. What you talking about, bro? It ain't that bad yet, you know. But when I saw your pictures, Raymond, Roscoe, I'm like, damn, man, that got to be a foot close to it, you know. And I wonder how fast that came down, you know. You know, it's a lot of snow, man. I'm pretty sure it's cold as well there, man. But man, like I told you, man, you know, the suggestion is, you know, advice is, and I'm pretty sure you already know how to take care of yourself. Stay warm, man. Stay warm, stay indoors, man. If you got a fireplace, man, light that thing, get some hot cocoa going, man, get a movie, you know. Enjoy your company. You know what I mean? Enjoy your company, man. Peace, bro. Real spit. All right, guys, girl. She said, I'm looking forward to the interaction. I'm sure you are. Like I said, I have somebody lined up, and you guys sit together, man, and chop it up, man. And this brother's an influencer. You know, most of you guys know his name. If you don't know him personally, you know his name, you know his face. And I think before this week is out, he'll be here. So God's girl and the loved one, they'll sit down together, man, and you know, I'm pretty sure, man, have a good conversation, man. I may be sitting there, I may not. Well, to interview him, I'll be there, you know. But I think though at some point I may remove myself from the frame, man, and let them, you know, have a conversation, you know. Let them have a conversation. I think that'll be a good look, man. Not only for him, but also for God's girl and our audience, you know, the Royal Group congregation. So let's look forward to that. All right. In fact, I'll put up a thumbnail. I'll let y'all know exactly when that's going to take place. So I'm waiting on him to land. That's it. God's girl going to say, hey, I see you, Bam. Yes, Sunday, man, if possible. Okay. Hey, man, just have your schedule ready, man. Mine's wide open. I think Saturday and Sunday, I'm gonna be busy both days. So, you know, we can make that happen. I already told you, man, ain't nothing, man, to make it happen. All right. All right, bro. God's girl says, money will never solve the problem. If you have an impoverished mentality, you will waste the money. Money is only a tool. That's it. That's it. Money actually does have a purpose. You know, it does have a purpose. You know, but most of us, again, we don't know what that purpose is, or we don't understand how to use money as a tool. You know, most of us. You know, we're not singling nobody out, man, because most of us have not looked at money as a tool. We've wasted money. You know, we've exhibited that impoverished mentality. You know, you ain't had nothing, all of a sudden you got something, you want to keep it, you don't want to spend it, you know, but hey, man, it sits there and does what? Nothing, you know. Anyway, God's girl goes on to say most people only want to look good, failing instead of really succeeding. It's the truth too. And this is what we see in a lot of brothers and sisters, how they dress themselves up, you know, all the stuff, you know, that they wear, they present themselves to the public, you know, for the public to see, you know, they look good. But like she's suggesting, like she's saying, they're failing. It's human beings, you know. And I think again, man, that's something we all go through, you know. That's not just subjected to those who go about their day all day, every day, just wanting to look good. You know, that goes for a lot of us, you know. I appreciate that, God's girl. Thanks for coming in here and sharing that. I hope y'all reading this. I know I'm reading it, but I hope you guys are reading this. Justin Sade says, I have faith. I have faith in you, OG. Well, you know, what we talked about the other day, Justin. You got to trust you, man. You know, you have to have that in you, man. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm not God. I'm not, you know, so I'm only saying respectfully, don't look at, you know what I mean? I get what you're saying, but let's watch how we say stuff. All right. Let's be careful how we say stuff, man. Trust and know that, yeah, man, when I come up here, man, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. All right. I'm gonna say the things I know should be said, and I will not say the things I know I shouldn't say, you know. If that's what you mean, I get that. All right. And let's just go on that. That's what you mean. Man, just like I'm here, man. Excuse me. And you said you having faith that, you know, I'm gonna show up and we're gonna chop up, we're gonna drop these gems and jewels, man. Excuse me, y'all. I have that same outlook in terms of the Royal Group congregation. I trust that you guys are gonna come in here and we're gonna light it up, man. We're gonna do what we do, you know. And I find not necessarily pleasure in that, but I find a certain I'm agreeable with that, man. You know, that's something, you know, that I get. It's inherent, man. It's internal. I feel it. I feel it, man, and I appreciate it. You know what I mean? So in that respect, I get it, man. I hear you loud and clear, man. Respect right back to you, bro. Hey, the homie, how you doing, man? Peace to you and yours as well, bro. Come on up in here, man. Raymond Scholes said, man, the snow is still hectic. Excuse me, the snow is still hectic. The roads are hard to drive on and people are constantly getting stranded on the roads. It's about 0 degrees. But me and the family are good and warm. Yeah, man, shoot, stay inside, man, where you know, you don't run the risk of being stranded out there in that type of weather. You know, that would be, yeah, do what you're doing, man. Doing a good job. All right, the homie. You already know, man. I watched the damn movie, man. That movie was crazy. That movie was crazy. The homie said, Bub, I know you watched the movie The Home already. Yeah, I did. I watched it a couple of nights ago, as a matter of fact. And I'm like, hey man, is this what they doing? Is this what they're doing? You know, the thing about the fluid in the back of the eyeball, right? I swear to you, it just made me, when I saw that and they were talking about it, how it's their fountain of youth. You know, dude said, I'm 130 some years old. You know, man, look about 40 or 50, right? Wait, they actually look a little older than that, you know, they don't age well. But anyway, uh, it's their fountain of youth. But it made me think when he was extracting this fluid from the in back of the eyeball, it made me think of, you know, them wanting or professing with them trying to figure out a way to use melanin in technology, not just in technology, but finding a way or trying to find a way to use melanin on themselves. You know, I'm like, hey man, this is some serious stuff. What is he really saying? What is the movie really saying? That the government is at work, man, trying to figure out, you know, ways to keep those, you know, I don't know, man, empower or living, keep them living, man. The movie was crazy, man, on a lot of levels. You know, at first I thought it was a horror movie, you know, when his brother, because I didn't realize it was his brother at the time, ran up on him like had a demon in him or something. Like, oh shit, this is a, you know, horror movie, you know. Kind of find out it was his brother. They extracted his youth from him, you know, and you can almost liken that to what we go through on the daily as black people, how they trying to sap the life out of us, man. You know, taking us through all this stuff, man, and we end up, you know, just we getting old fast, man. You know, we're getting worn down by all the shit that's thrown at us, man. I don't know, man. The movie was a trip, man. I'm gonna have to watch it again. That was my first time watching it. My wife said we watched it before. I didn't recall watching that movie. You know, I think I must have tuned out, man, because I was like, shit. I watched the whole damn movie. I watched the whole damn movie, man. It was crazy, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it again to give you a real take on it, man. To give you a real take on it. And that kind of reminds me, I was talking to my sister-in-law the other night. She had sent she put in the family chat um which song was the best by Kool and the Gang. Um Winter Sadness or Summer Madness. You know, and immediately me and the wife was like, you know, Summer Madness, you know, because I think we both of us growing up separately, that's what we heard a lot of. You know what I mean? We heard that was like a mainstay in the repertoire in our music, you know, playlist, you know, for our parents anyway. You know, the grown-ups, that's, you know, that's something they did, you know, instrumental, right? I had an uncle who was a musician, you know, he played all kind of, you know, instruments. And so I'm pretty sure I heard that through him, as well as one of my older cousins who's rest in peace. You know, I have all her albums, as a matter of fact, albums from way back. But that's why I knew this, you know, Summer Madness from. But when I got to listening to Winter Sadness, it was different. You know, it was different. Same group, almost had the same vibe to it and shit. But Summer Madness, I think the vibe in that, it touched home. You know what I mean? It reached where it should have went. You know, Winter Sadness though kind of, I don't know, kind of made me feel down. You know, I'm like, oh wait a minute. I mean, it's a cool song, but I mean, yeah, and they had vocals in it as well. But nah, man, the tempo or how it made me feel, some, you know, somewhat, man. Nah, you know, I like it, but nah, it's not something I would play as much as I would play Summer Madness. Summer Madness, something I'll put in the truck, I'll put on a motorcycle, I hit the street, boom, you know, that, you know, it go. Winter Sadness though, I don't know. But y'all check them two out and y'all tell me what y'all think about those two songs. Which is best? Which song is the best? And that's what sister-in-law was trying to, you know, impart to us. Which song do we think is the best? And I told her though, just because Summer Madness, we grew up on it, I would, you know, I'm gonna be biased. You know, I hadn't heard that one, and I was surprised I hadn't heard Winter Sadness. If I did, I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, y'all check that out, man. Winter Sadness versus Summer Madness. Which song is the best? All right, where you at? Where you at? Yeah. Homie, I did watch that. Justin says, save it for your old age, I have been told. Save what for your old age, Justin? Talk to me. Raymond Skull says, man, I told my young bro, baby Roscoe, about this channel. He is also on the path to change. He has his channel called Triple R Podcast. He is all positive and speaks motivational. I like to link you to. Hey, man, you already know, man, that go without saying. You know, shit, we talk. So let it do what it do, all right? Raymond Skull, man, his brother's channel, people, is called Triple R Podcast. So I'm gonna go and look at that one as well. Let me write that down too. I'm pretty sure the Queen has probably wrote it down. Triple R Podcast. I'm gonna check him out tonight. Yeah, Raymond, man, I appreciate that, Roscoe. And you let bro know, man, you know, change is something, man, that's, you know, something he can do. You know, if he want to bring change to his life, man, that he can do that. He can actually do that, you know. So continue to encourage him. That would be my advice, you know. Continue to encourage your young brother, man, you know. And let's see what comes of that. Let's see how many brothers and sisters he can reach, help save, you know. Again, man, in order to save somebody, man, you know, else you have to be able to save yourself. Got to save yourself, man, before you can save anybody, man. That goes with that phrase, you got to love yourself before you can love me or anybody else. You got to take care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else. You know, facts, man. Don't neglect that. Yeah. What's the name of this movie, homie? What movie are you talking about, Anthony? The one we were just talking about? If that's the case, the name of that movie is Home, Home. I'm telling you, man, it's a trip, man. It's a trip, man. That movie actually shocked me, I have to say, man. Huh? Oh, I didn't understand. Okay, the homie, you got another one from you. Say, Bub, you got to watch The Long Walk by Stephen King. Oh man, it's crazy. You mentioned I probably read every book he wrote, watched most of his movies, if not all of them. He used to entertain me. I have to say, in prison, Stephen King entertained me. But I always knew. Well, I didn't always know, but when I first started reading him, man, I noticed he loved using the N-word a lot. You know, I'm like, hey man, you know, I'm the type of dude I don't say it, so I'm against, you know, people who said, you know, I'm not against them. I just, you know, rather they not say it around me. But I don't like reading certain authors or any author who uses this word again and again and again and again. You know, it didn't stop me from reading all his books. You know, I did read them all, but I'm telling you, going into any book that he had written that I just got my hands on, I already lock it in there. Okay, be prepared. This motherfucker might say the N-word, you know. But I don't know. Stephen King, man, The Long Walk. I'm gonna have to check that one out. Shit, we didn't start a damn movie club. We seen The Long Walk.
That's the one they kept walking for miles, and they was killing them off if they stopped.
Oh, was that The Long Walk?
Yes.
When that was the military had them. Well, it was a game. It was like a raffle, right? Their numbers get drawn up, pulled up, and they have to be, you know, a part of this long walk. Well, yeah, I did see that. And man, that was a crazy movie too. I kept asking myself, man, why didn't they just bum rush these dudes, man? You're gonna lose a few lives, man. But the fact of the matter is, everybody is not, if not everybody, most of them were gonna die. You know, people walking. They didn't have any water or anything, right? Man, human beings can't keep walking like that, man, without falling out, man. For everyone that fell out, boom, you know, them hey, get up and walk, you know, dome them. Yeah, I did see that one already. That was okay, as a matter of fact. That was pretty good. Eyes Wide Shut, Tom Cruise. That was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah, the homie, I did see that one already, though. Eyes Wide Shut also. 12 Hours in October. I'm not familiar with that one. Did we see that one? 12 Hours in October? Okay, I don't either. So yeah, you guys, you know, life is what we make it, man, to a large extent, I think. I mean, there's some things that play that would have one believe that it's not true, you know. We have people, man, that run pretty much everything, control pretty much everything. And it depends, or well, yeah, it depends on how they're running things. Depending on how they're running things, determined, you know, sometimes, man, how how our lives turn out, you know. But that's not to say, man, that you know you could be, you know, because somebody runs something, you still can't be this person. You know, you still can't be successful in whatever that definition of successful is to you. You know, I'm just saying, man, there's a lot at play to where um, a lot that's at play is there to, you know, pretty much, man, you know, run your life. You know, we have to deal with this every day. You know, we get up in the mornings, man. I'm telling you, I was saying this earlier today, man, on the episode. For a lot of us, man, when we get up, man, all right, we have that grand rising, man. It's a beautiful thing, right? You know, and then as we start to walk from the bed to the restroom, man, do whatever, man. By the time we get to the front door, we're thinking now, like, damn, you know, you take that breath. Well, at least I know I do. Got to go out into this world, man. You know, got to see what the world can try to bring up, you know, hit me with. You know, I'm trying to stay positive, you know, but I know in the back of my mind, man, things can go unaccording to plan, you know. Shit happens. You know what I mean? But in spite of that, man, I look forward to it, you know. Get up every morning looking forward to, okay, man, attacking the day, you know, just being in the day. I think a lot of us take that for granted, man. You know, we don't understand, man, that, you know, yeah, we're here for a purpose, I think. Now, what that purpose is, I can't tell you. You know, I know that what I'm doing, I'm okay with. I think it's purposeful. You know, I think that it's the right thing to do. You know, I was about to say it's honorable, and hey, man, it's the right thing to do. But I go into my day every day thinking, all right, man, I'm finna go to war. You know what I mean? And not in an angry sense, but I'm knowing, man, that it's stuff going on out there that I have no control over, that other people control. Yet I'm going out there saying I'm gonna make it through this, though. You know, we tend to take that for granted. We tend to take that for granted. I can go through half the day fine and forget that I'm in the day. I'm in the now, man, for a reason, man, right? A purpose. I can forget based on someone's um, inadequacy in terms of driving an automobile. you know, it could be something that can like change the thought pattern for real, to change your mind or change your attitude. There's shit out there in effect, man, if we're not on point, man, it can upset the whole cart, I'm saying all that to say, man, every day that we get up, man, we have to be in control as far as in control of the control we have. And that's mainly and mostly with ourselves. There are a lot of things in effect or in play where people are trying to wrestle your control from you. They want you to think a certain way, act a certain way, be a certain way, say things a certain way. A lot of that is in effect, man. And again, we have a lot of our people helping them to push that agenda, taking over not just the minds and the bodies anymore, but our souls, taking away our ability, man, to think, man, rationally and logically, It's a whole lot at play, man. But in spite of that, man, you still are the person in control of your mind, your body, man, your soul, your spirit. At this stage, no one has that yet. They haven't figured out a way to just take that from you, not yet. But that being said, man, we got to appreciate that shit, man. That you're the one, man, that can actually say, okay, man, yay and nay. I'm going to do this because I know it's right, rather than I'm doing this, I don't give a damn that it's wrong, We have that control. That's what we have left, man. The ability, man, or the capacity, man, to think for ourselves, man. To do the good, do the good work. Going through your day, man, making sure that your day is trouble-free, man. You're limiting as much stress as you possibly can, man, and making it home after a day doing whatever it is you're doing, man. You got to appreciate that shit, man. And then you got to take credit for the fact that you made it through the day. A lot of us forget to do that. We forget to tell ourselves, man, you did good. You did well in spite of what life throws at us or has thrown at you, So, hey, man, just, we all have to take care of ourselves first. And this is what we say all the time. You have to take care of yourself first. Got to, because, to leave that to the care of somebody else, it's going to end up bad for a lot of us, man. And we're leaving that up to the care of other people in a lot of ways, or at least some of our people are. I would go on to say maybe the majority of our people are doing that. It's a bad look. It's a bad look, man. We're going through this, or that we're allowing ourselves to go through this. A lot is going on in the world. Trump, again, in the news. ICE gonna stay in the news. But there was something I read today, man. Actually, I did a piece on it today in terms of what's really going on in the world. These people are professionals in what they do. They know how to distract us. They know how to keep us blinded, man, or keep us unaware. It's a cold system, that they have in place, man, to make sure that, we're not really focused on the focus. I think that Trump is about to lead this country in the war. It's coming. It is coming. And it ain't going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty, man. And for that reason, man, this is why I say we have to get our shit together. We have to get our shit together. And hey, it's going to take more than prayer. It's going to take us understanding that, we have to address this. We're supposed to be able to address this, in such a way where, whatever powers, whatever godly powers, spiritual powers, cosmic powers is there. And they'll do that power do what it's supposed to do in terms of assisting us. But we got to be the ones to, really we are the ones that's going to be in the fight. We got to be in the fight, you know. We have to prepare, man, because some stuff finna happen. And again, it ain't going to look nice. A lot of us going to get caught with our pants down or sleeping. All right. Hey, the homie, I'm going to check that one out, man. 12 Hours in October. Shit, I might watch that tonight. I got time. Yeah. I might watch that tonight. Okay, and in any respect, we'll talk about it for real. Tantrum knows, sup, homie? All right. See you in the get down, brother. How you been? How was your day? And that'll go for everybody, man. How was your day today? You know? Hopefully everything's everything, man. Meaning, hopefully, you know, life is good, man. Even when we tend to think it ain't, man. We got these issues, these problems, you know. Man, life is good, man. If you're breathing, you're able, you're in a good place, man. You're in a good place. Trust that. But again, hope you well, Tantrum. Good to see you here, brother. All right, Devon, what it do, man? Peace right back to you, bro. All right. Good to see you as well. Hey, Anthony, what you talking about? Your words is like one word at a time. I'm missing something here, man. All right, you'll get it. Raymond Skull says, man, our mental health is the most important aspect of ourselves, and that's to be maintained with care. Man, that's true. The mind goes, so shall the body follow. You know, take care of ourselves mentally, man. And we do have a lot of mental health issues, man, in our communities, man. There's no denying that. There's no denying that, but there's no, you know, again, I don't know why most people have these issues. Maybe God's girl be able to tell us about that too one day. What bring on, because, you know, she's in the field, man, psychology. That's why I suggested maybe she could tell us that one day. But I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, you know what I mean? I don't know why we go through what we go through, you know, mentally, man. There's a lot of mental health issues in our community, man. Hey, James, I see you, man. Salute right back to you. Man, ain't nothing going on with me, man, but what's supposed to be, man. I'm here at home tonight, you know, just chilling, man, you know, putting it together, man, understanding that, man, I have opportunity, man, to do whatever I set my mind to, man, and that's what I'm on, man. I set my mind and said, man, I can't wait to get into the chat, man, and holler with the Royal Group congregation. Chop it up, man, about this, that, and the third, and that's what we're doing. How you, though? What's going on with you, man? You good? All right. Oh, yeah, Tantrum in Ohio, man. It's cold all over, huh? LA ain't all bad, man. Well, we're in the valley, but it ain't, it's chilly, but it ain't cold like that, you know? I was thinking we were going to get a lot of rain when they say these major storms were coming. But, yeah, obviously they were talking about snowstorms. Yeah, it's not bad out here, man. Yeah, James, hold on. All right, Tantrum, you feel blessed. It was a great day, huh? That's good, man. As long as you recognize, man. James says, man, what happens to the folks who don't catch up on this unity? What do we do with people still living in the past, or the ones who have been brainwashed and sidetracked from the focus? I think that, man, let's say, just dealing with, you know, your statement, man, or your question, your first, what happens to the folks who don't catch up on this unity? You know, we have to keep pushing, man. You know, We have to keep pushing. And as long as those individuals aren't throwing wrenches into what we want to have in motion, uh, our progress, our empowerment, those things of that nature. Hey man, we'll leave it behind for them to pick up as they come along. You know what I mean? It's just like, dropping the gems and the jewels, man. You know, people coming from a distance and they see them, they pick them up, they hear them, they lock it in. That's how they go. So the hope is that, man, though they haven't caught up, one day they will, and that might be, or those may be some of the most significant people we needed in this struggle to begin with. Sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it takes longer, man, for people to catch up, especially catch up to those things or those matters that mean most to us. Unity is something important. We should have that. It's a shame we don't have it. But even for those who don't, want to catch up to that, don't want to be a part of that, there'll come a time. They'll seek it. They'll seek unity, man. Again, man, it's a process. It's a process for a lot of people, But as long as we have people, man, in this life living right now, and those who came before us that then left jewels along the way, gems, there's an opportunity for them to gather that stuff up, man. To gather it up, take it within, man, and utilize them. Those are the riches, man. That's the wealth, man. And people understand that, man. Yeah, I mean, at some point they'll catch up. They'll get it. The other part of what do we do with people still living in the past? Almost like the same thing, right? But I know a few. Shoot, man. To some extent, I still do stuff that could be considered in the past. Old school stuff. And I had to, time and again, like, hey, man, it's old shit. But I think for those that are still living in the past, man, again, man, it's they just sleep right now, man. They haven't awakened. That's it, man. And let's hope that when that time comes for them, to get out of the past and step into the present right now, so that they can, help prepare this future for those that's coming up behind them. The hope is that they get it, man. That they get out of the past, man, and they get out of the past based on whatever we drop at their feet, leave or give to them, man. To get them to catch up, man. To get into the now. I think, man, just overall, man, I don't think anyone is expendable. I think we got to get past that type of thinking, and that's not to accuse you of saying that's what you're saying or accusing you of thinking that. But I think that, man, none of our people are expendable. Even those who don't get it, those who don't want to get it, those that still living in the past and ain't caught up to the present. We have to be willing, man, to find a way to get them to catch up, to help them chart a path to get them to the present, You know what I mean? And then those who are brainwashed, man, yeah, we have to, a lot of us are. A lot of us are. So we have to be re-educated, We have to be re-educated. We have to be undoctrinated, if such a word exists. No one is expendable, man. Even the worst of us, man. I'm not saying, bring them in and do all these things, man, that could jeopardize everything and everyone. That's not what I'm suggesting. But I'm only saying, man, that they shouldn't be left alone. They shouldn't be left behind. You know, we should do everything in our power, everything that, you know, we're humanly capable of doing to help them, you know, to help them. This is one means right here, you know, this channel, man, and others like it. You know, we have sisters, man, like Sister Cinda, you know, God's girl, and others, man. Soldier Denise, Queen Nzinga, they impart knowledge, man, wisdom. You know what I'm saying? They, you know, man, I hear it all the time from my wife, man. You know, when my mind lock up and it want to be one way about whatever the issue might be, let's just say concerning the family. Let's say concerning the family. She's that voice, that voice of reason say, no, we can't do that. Why not? Because it's family. Because that's family. It's family. Gotta help them. Gotta help them. So, you know, no one's expendable, man. And if we can help them, we got to help them. Can't give up on them. Don't leave them alone. Don't just, you know, we just got to find different means or ways to dealing with the issues they present, you know? And it's in us to do that. I don't think there's a stronger mind on the face of the planet. There isn't. If there's a problem we have to get to the point where we're connecting, not just with what's going on in his brain of ours, man, but with our DNA to find solutions to problems that we think are not fixable, that can't be corrected. Beg to differ. You know, like I said, my wife, she'll say all the time, no. That's family. All right? It's family, man. No matter who they are, man, they're going through some stuff, man. All right? We just got to be more patient and willing, you know what I'm saying, to deal with them. No one in our family should be expendable or just left to the wayside, you know. That's just me, man. You know, all of us can be accused of being sidetracked. I'm one. I admit it. I was sidetracked for a long time, for most of my life. All right. And yet, brothers just didn't lead me to my own devices. They didn't just let me linger back there. You know what I'm saying? If they saw my mind was fogged, clouded, man, or if I was indoctrinated, they would, hey, man, they didn't try. They re-educated me. You know? If my thinking was antiquated, they brought it up to speed, man. That's what we got to do, man. That's our work, man. Here's the thing, man, and this is truth, man. And I get when we talk about those who are going against this motion we're trying to get going and what must be done in terms of dealing with them. I get that. Here's the thing, man. We all got to come, man. We have to work together to find a way to bring everybody. There are going to be some cases where we like, hey, no, he can't come. She can. We already know what they did to Joe Blow and them, you know. So, but we have to figure out what we're going to do with them. You know? Yeah, I mean, because it just wouldn't be wise. I get it, you know. Come on, man. You know, I get it. But I think, man, a lot of these issues can be worked through. You know, we use our intellect, you know. There's a lot of reasons why a lot of people do what they do. Some of them don't even know what those reasons are. So it may take some of us to enlighten them. to tell them, or to, read them. Hey man, this is why you like that. That's why you doing this or doing, we all need help, man. We all need help to get right. None of us perfect. Love my people. Love my people. But in this equation, does the needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many? Or is it conversely, does the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few? We have to find the middle ground, where that equation is not something that we have to, discuss. It's just something we know, because there's no debate needed, as a whole, we know what the issue is, what the needs are, and who they should serve and how they should serve us. But to be, just, one of them blanket things where, F them, they can't, we gotta figure out another way. That hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. So no, man. It is a matter though of a lot of what we see with our brothers, man, in terms of what we do and we know it's wrong, we're doing it anyway. It's indoctrination, man. It is brainwashing. How do we cleanse the brain? Man, I'm pretty sure, man, there are some super bad black brothers and sisters that know how to put that work in, clear the mind, man. Get rid of a whole lot of stuff going on with us, man. It just ain't came out the woodwork yet. We got Sister Cinda, willing to help, step up and say, hey man, this is part of the problem right here. She got some words for brothers, man. She gonna set the brothers straight, man. So that's a start, What happens with them, we try to communicate with them first, man, to determine what process we need to go about in terms of dealing with them, Let's look at it like that, though, James, I hear you, though. I hear you, man. Anthony Tibbs says, man, I'm in the aeronautics field, bub, and there are plenty of orders. You're in the aeronautics field and there are plenty orders. Plenty orders for what? Okay. You say, you're going to say, I'm saying it's already up on the war thing, bub. Real spit. And this is what I'm trying to tell people. What I'm trying to, convey to the people is that the dogs of war are barking. They're barking, man, especially here in this country. But that noise, we're not hearing it. They're barking with each other. How dogs get, they finna go, this pack finna go get that pack, and they communicating. Regular people or people on our side don't really understand, the jargon, But hey, man, the dogs of war are barking. Trump just asked for $500 billion to add on to an already $1 trillion budget for the Pentagon. All right. So if everybody know what the Pentagon is, that's the war machine, basically. That's everybody's up in there. CIA, NSA, all of them, but $500 million. He wants to build these new battleships. Why? For what reason do you need new battleships? America boasts to have the very best military hardware on the planet. From aircraft carriers, man, to jet fighters, to stealth bombers, you know, the ICBMs. What do you need 500 million billion, excuse me, with a B, dollars more, or on top of a $1 trillion budget this year? That's what he want. They're not putting it out there for war. For war. They're getting ready for war, man, against China and Russia and Iran or anybody else who's down with them. You know, part of what we saw happen in Venezuela has to do with that. Man, wasn't no narco trafficker. You know what I mean? Come on. The fact of the matter is he was allowing China to get most of their oil. China was about to rebuild their oil infrastructure. That China have a contract with them. Well, I don't know what they're going to do about that now. But this is a resource in what America calls its backyard, the Western Hemisphere. You know, in other words, they run all this shit. They run it all. So Venezuela was just the first, you know. They done pretty much punked Mexico, told Mexico, and this was the game. The gambit was, oh, y'all got the cartel over there, so we're gonna come in there and get the cartel. All right. In other words, we're gonna violate your sovereignty. We're gonna come in there, and it ain't really, we'll use that as the excuse. But once America say we're going to do something and they put a legal precedent on it, that's what they're going to do. But they're doing it for a reason. It's not because of narco traffickers or cartels. It's about resources, or who you doing business with, who you giving them resources to. If Venezuela let China come in and get all that oil, that means China is in America's backyard. So what's next? They're going to build a base there? You know what I mean? This is how they're looking at it. If Peru, Colombia, they're not going to really mess with Brazil, because Brazil, they're not no punks. You're not just going to bully Brazil. And also Brazil is a part of BRICS. But most Chile, Peru, Panama, all. What they're not telling us in the news is they already broke all them down, threatened them basically. If y'all do any business with China, this is how we're going to go about dealing with y'all first. You know, we're going to sanction the hell out of y'all. We're going to put tariffs on y'all. And if that don't work, if y'all find a way around that, then we're bringing the military. And you got to believe them. You have to trust what they're saying is real. They went just did it in Venezuela, but it had nothing to do with narcos or narcotics, drugs. It was about allowing China in the backyard, Russia as well. It's about them organizing to create another way to spend money or use money instead of the American dollar. It's the yuan, the yuan, yuan in China. Brazil, BRICS, they're all trying to figure out a way not to use American currency to do trade, commerce, because American money basically runs all that shit. This is why they're able to put like sanctions on certain companies, because they use the American dollar. But anyway, they're in the Western Hemisphere. And as far as America is concerned, this is their shit. China got something to say about that, though. You know, like, wait a minute, man. Oh, Panama Canal. Not the Panama Canal, but is it Bolivia? It's either Bolivia or Peru. China has built a new waterway there that allows ships too big to go through the Panama Canal, but they can go through this way and totally bypass using American waters and shit. You know what I mean? That's also, man, to them, this is the issue of national security. So I'm saying all that to say, The dogs of war are barking, man, and they're not going to be able to bully China. You know, you can't sanction China without being sanctioned back. You know what I mean? They're getting this weaponry together, man. They're getting these dollars together, man, to create or to, to bolster, the war machine. Military industrial complex is in full gear. It's going down, man. And people don't see it coming. So they'll hit us with stuff. Well, we're going to send ICE in there. I think these are all diversions or distractions. A lot of what we see. Trump looking like a fool. All this shit, I think is, are distractions, diversions. Because the real shit that's going on, they're not talking about it. They're not talking about it. The Zionist regime, Israel, right in there with them. Now they're trying to sick Israel on Africa, because Africa holds the world's, man, if the world need it, it's in Africa. I don't care what you're talking about. It's in Africa, but Africa now, are turning a new leaf. They're like, hey, man, this is our stuff. We're tired of this. So United States have told France, I think, and the EU, y'all deal with Africa. We're going to deal with this. It's going down, man. War is here. It just ain't out in the open yet. World war. So when you think about a lot of shit, man, that's going on, man, you got to think about why it's going on, man. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? How the hell does Trump allow border agents, Border Patrol, to go in cities and just bum rush the citizens, just do what they want? Border Patrol. It's a diversion, man. Something going on, man. And we're going to find out soon enough. It's a play in that too, but we're going to find out soon enough. Yeah, the war thing is up and running, y'all. And this is why I say, man, we got to get it together, man. We got to hurry up and get it together. Because listen, man, when that shit kick off, one thing they do know about us is we ain't going to play ball with them. Blacks ain't going to play ball with them, especially on the level they need us to. We going to be the only ones probably really tripping about, hey, man, fuck that, Something going on, man. We got to figure it out. We need to figure it out. But yeah, man, wake up, y'all. James said, I thought you was going to go live on us yesterday, Brother Bud, but you probably was busy or caught up with something. Love you, homie. Always looking forward to your groove, Under the Groove 1. Under the Groove, I Am 1. What was his name? Monday? I came home, man, from work. And I came home from work. Yeah, I was set up. My wife said, you going live? I said, no. I said, did I say I'm going live? I think she said, yeah, you said you're going to go live. I said, no, it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and or Sunday. I said, okay. But I got down in front of the computer. I started putting a piece together for just Under the Groove. So I didn't do live, and I apologize for that, but I'll be back tomorrow as well as Thursday and Friday. Sunday, I'll probably be at the studio all day, but if I got time, I'll come home. I'll make time, come home and do one Sunday as well. So yeah, my bad, man. Actually, I want to do one Sunday. I started to do one Sunday. That's what it was for me. But the football game was going on. Rams was getting whooped, so I didn't want I didn't want to, mess up nobody. I had a feeling that most people would be watching that game. That's why I didn't run it Sunday, But Monday, it slipped my mind. My wife said I had made a commitment to do it, and I just didn't recall that. So, my bad on that. All right. I got you, though. You know that, James. We got tonight, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. Hopefully, like I say, Sunday, man, my schedule permit. I get home in time. We're going to hang out. We will hang out. Trust that. Anthony Tibbs say, man, we got to keep pushing, most definitely. I'm telling you, that's the only way to do this, man. We got to push hard, man. Push hard to the point where we got this motion going, man. It won't be stopped, man. It won't be stopped. Our own, who may be against whatever we're trying to do, won't even have the heart to stop it. Will not attempt to, you know. So we got to keep pushing, but we got to push, man, in such a way to where, hey, man, won't nobody be able to disturb our momentum. You know, we got to start linking up, though, like I say, with all kinds of people, our people, all over this country, you know, all over this country, not just, you know, where I am, where you are, but all over this country and in other parts of the world. We got to get together, man. Tantra Knowles says, man, I'm 15 years behind everyone and been free almost 10 years. I am moving slow, but I am building every day. Yeah, so you're 15 years. I say, I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day who had done time as well. We're talking, and I said this because I knew what I was saying. I meant it. I said, man, I'm just barely 10 years old, you know? And he's like, man, I'm about 7 or 8, you know? And we got to talking about what had us thinking this. It was the fact that, yeah, our development was arrested. You know what I'm saying? We were sitting up in these concentration camps, these prisons, man, you know, not evolving properly, you know, not evolving properly. We're in this subculture, man, where it's, you know, it ain't nothing like the streets. And the streets ain't nothing like that. You know what I mean? You can get in there and get all the book sense you want, man. You be the smartest dude on the compound, but you can also be the first dude get stopped, stabbed, get his throat slit or whatever for some minor shit. You know? We've, you know, in there, man, we trying to educate ourselves, but the specter of violence was the thing most on forefront of our brains, man. You know, you have to admit that for those who've been to prison know what I'm saying, you know it. You know? But yeah, man, so I get what you're saying, Tantrum. You know, you 15 years behind, man. So then you out here now, you know, you're just now 10 years old. I get it. And so this growth process, man, it's like coming home, you know, being born again. You have to learn how to crawl before you can walk, then walk before you learn how to run, you know? So this process is slow. It should be slow. We should, you know, go at it at a certain pace. And for us, it shouldn't be about trying to catch up to, you know what I mean? Or trying to catch up to what we missed. You know, I think that would be a mistake, you know? I remember telling someone, man, I'm not trying to catch up to nobody, man. That time gone. But I'm here now. You know, I'm here now, man, to build on right now. You know what I mean? And hey, man, in a lot of ways, it's like I hadn't left. You know what I mean? It's like I've been here. I would love to be doing better. In fact, man, I'm, you know, run my own. Like I said, man, this is the year I retire, man. From working for Gilmore. I mean that. Put that in the atmosphere, man. You know, I'm putting that in the atmosphere. This is the year, man, that I'm retiring, man. Forgive me. Damn that. Walking off the plantation and start my sharecropping. Well, I ain't even sharecropping. I'm going to start my own farm somewhere else. Start my business, you know, at 10 years old. Had I not wasted my life, man, had I not fell for the okie doke, the banana in the tailpipe trick, man, with all them years wasted, man, game banging, all that other shit that came with it, man. There's no telling. I can't, you know, just hypothetical, but shit, man, I like to think, man, I'll be doing just way better, you know. But You know, I'm not, trust me, I'm not complaining. I love my life. I love the life that me and my wife, we built together. You know what I mean? You know, I appreciate that shit, man. You know, mm, it's 10 years of this. So I love it. But I get what you're saying, Tantrum. Yeah, man. Move slow, bro. You know, move slow. You know? Yeah. Not sloth slow, though. Not snail slow. Not tortoise slow. But shit, move slow. All right. James said, man, for sure, brother, I'm stuck in my ways about certain habits and mannerisms that I had developed in my younger years. Yeah, I get that. But it's all conducive to my progress and positivity. I'm shaking off the bad. All right. All right. You recognizing, man, that you coming new. Yeah, coming new, man. Certain habits, man, we've come to realize, man, were not good, not healthy. You know, certain mannerisms, man, does not speak to, or it cannot speak to, you know, that which befits a man. You know what I mean? You know, we wake up, man, we get it, you know, we get it, you know. And then it's also, man, the fact that you're still developing, you know, educationally, man, especially, you know what I mean? And education, you know, pertains to anything you can learn to do. And, you know, it's knowledge, you know. You're going to do that, man. You're going to, you know, continue to grow, man, till the day you die. Like I said before, maybe not in the physical sense, because the body might start to deteriorate over time. But hey, man, still learning. You could be 90 and still growing. You know what I mean? Mentally, spiritually. So that is, man. That ain't nothing, man. Shit. You know? Hmm. Hmm. You go on to say, James, man, as an old school, I'm as old school as they come. I'm not with none of this new era goofiness. From the mentality to the way people think, brother. What the fuck happened to the thought process of our people? Lost as a MF. Yeah. I'm with you on that. I'm old school as big dog, man. I tell you, man, the family like, dang, man. Oh, man. I got to keep it old school. You know, I have to. I have to. So I get what you're saying on that, in that respect as well. You say lost as a motherfucker. You know, that's true. Tantrum said, man, we all are brainwashed. And I always tell people to relearn everything we were taught. Bam. There you go. We were lied to from the start. Santa, Easter bunnies, Columbus, etc. Y'all get it. Yeah, I get it. And you have a point there, great point, a grand point. We have to relearn. We have to be re-educated because we've been so miseducated that, man, yeah, man, everything we learn, we need to dispose of. Coming new. And again, here's something though that a lot of people are frowned upon. Like, what? Hey, man, I'm learning now, man. That, you know, they're swept down. Most of what they learned is the truth. You know, most of history of what we hear or learn about history is a damn lie. You got to be willing, man, knowing that it's a lie. You got to be willing, man, to relearn it then. Go to the real source. Don't go to the tainted one. Don't go to the source that's not going to educate you properly. You know? So I agree with that, man. JRL said, OG, hey, OG, I hear you. I'm 26 and trying to not go in the wrong way. But I get what you're saying. You're saying that, man, you're 26, still a young brother, man. Don't try not to go the wrong way, man. Make the decision, bro. Make the decision, bro. Because I'm just one dude. I'm telling you, there's probably a gang of brothers in here would tell you the same thing, man. Don't go down that road. Don't go down that road, homie. I'm telling you, the shit that they propping up in front of you, making it look good, man, glorifying it, man, you know, dudes being all, you know, collar popping, fronting. It ain't worth it, homie. It's not worth it. That road, man, it's gonna lead to two things, man. In the process of getting to wherever that reservation you setting for, you're gonna get a whole lot of heartache, man, and disappointment. You're gonna break a lot of hearts, man. You're gonna impact a lot of people before it finally hits you. Now, that reservation you making, man, because you saying don't try to not go the wrong way. Do not go the wrong way, bro. Just tell yourself that, man, and work that out. You end up on that road, man. It's hard to get to. In fact, there are very few detours on that road, bro. Very few. Very few have been saved from it before it consumed them. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing down that road, bro. Prison or death, straight up. That's the truth, man. You're 26. When I was 26, man, I was in prison, man. Got out of prison a year and a half later, back in prison with a life sentence. I was on that road. Bro. And I'm telling you, man, ain't nothing on that road worth your time, man, your attention, or your life. That be it behind bars or in the ground. Ain't nothing on that road for you, man. Trust me on that. Get on some man shit, man. And understand what that road is about. Get on that road. Get on that road. That's a hard road to walk right there. But it's worth it. You know? Get on that road, bro. Stay off that other road, man. Get off that road, man, and get on the one that you should be on. I'm pretty sure, man, somebody's going to depend on somebody needs you and love you. You stay on that road, you're going to impact somebody. You're going to hurt somebody, man, that don't know you, who know and love you. You ain't just going to hurt yourself. You ain't just going to ruin your life or future. Get off that road, bro. All right? Find another road. A whole lot better roads than the one, that can lead you, to prison or death. You said it. It's the wrong way, man. Don't go that way. All right? James send me, I send my love to all my people wherever I roll. The east side, low bottoms, the hub, Watts, all through the central, Linwood, Gardena, 20s, all the way to the hundreds. Love all your people everywhere. There it is. Straight up. And this is the education, the reconditioning, the relearning we have to, become involved in, man. This is the new process for us, I think. So when they say, or we hear the phrase being, tossed about or, spoken about, blacks are waking up now, the first part of that has to be wait a minute, man. I love me and I love my people. I love me, therefore I love my people. That's the first shock back to reality, man. Like, damn, man, I've been hating myself all this time. Byproduct of my hate is hating people look just like me. Come on, man. Love yourself, man. Love your people. Real shit. Soldier Denise, how you doing, Queen sister? It's one of the Queen mothers, man. One of the co-founder of the tables. All right. Appreciate you in here. She say we cleanse the mind by being picky on what we will allow in our minds. Whatever you watch, what we read, what media we consume, We must train ourselves to avoid the negative content. And that's true. What's the old phrase, garbage in, garbage out? What you let into your mind, what you allow into your mind is what will come out of it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that, Soldier Denise. Appreciate you. James said, man, I'm tired of MFs talking about West Side this or East Side that. Who care if you from the East or West Side? We need to stop treating others based on where we grew up. That shit is fucking foul in LA. All right, I have observation, James. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, in all due respect, bro. And I'm gonna say this to you because I've been wanting to say it to you. I wish I had the phone number. I'll call you and talk to you. In fact, we'll do it that way. We'll do it that way. I have something I want to point out to you. All right. Yeah, we'll get to that, man. My email, well, I give you the email. Well, the email should be in the description. All right, man. Get at me because I want to talk to you. All right, some serious shit, bro. Because you don't see it, but I see it. And if I see it, I know others see it. And we don't want there to be contradictions. So I would love to talk to you, man. First chance I get, bro. All right. B60M, how you do, bro? Good to see you up in this Get Out, man. This is Under the Groove Podcast, y'all. Please like, share, and comment with this Get Out, man. All of them, as a matter of fact, and subscribe if you see fit. But let's jump in here, man, and make this thing, man, worthwhile. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you see fit to this podcast. All right. It will be very much appreciated, man. But anyways, B60M said, man, Gaddafi was unalived because he wanted to switch to the gold standard. Yeah. So what that meant, they would kill you. They would go to war if you messing with their stuff, man, or what they consider to be their stuff. So what you mean? You're not going to use American dollars no more to trade in this oil and all this stuff? Nah, we're not having that. Not only did Gaddafi was not pushing on the other African nations. He was taking it to the African nations, just literally sitting down, talking with them and telling them, showing them why it would serve them better. So compound that with the fact that, yeah, he was trying to switch to using gold instead of dollars. That was all they needed. That was all they needed to go kill him. Saddam Hussein was the same thing, y'all. It wasn't that he went and messed with Kuwait and with, bullying Kuwait and all that. Man, Saddam was on the same shit. Damn the American dollar. These imperialistic bastards think they run the world. Look what it got him. Same thing, man. But I think a lot of them get caught up like that because they don't have the right people around them. They don't have people who are genuinely sincere about the betterment of the people rather than, themselves. You know what I mean? You build an army, man, with the right warriors in it. You got to, man. You have them people around you, man, that are not necessarily trustworthy, but are people whose behavior, you can go back and look at it. You know what I mean? You can scrutinize, where they come from, what, if they did anything scandalous, have they backbiting to try to throw somebody on the bus to make their careers better or whatever, This shit is real, man. They got knocked down because partly because of what they were trying to do, but also because they didn't have the right people around them. Same thing with Maduro. None of that shit makes sense, man. Kill 130 Cubans or however many people just to make it look like, some shit really went down. but you get him unscathed when nobody there to look. It's a whole lot of shit going on, man. A whole lot. Tantra Nose says, yes, all this is a distraction for sure. The world is changing, and most people aren't paying attention. I mean, before our eyes, y'all, it's going down. Before our eyes, we were having a discussion here the other night about AI. And I'm telling y'all, man, beware. Beware. Not just AI as a mechanism or a machine to run machines and shit like that, but AI, a tool that can be used to set you up, put you somewhere you never were, put you in a situation you know nothing about, have you committing a murder. Hey man, the world is changing before our eyes, man, and we're not even aware of it, man. So I don't know. I think it's necessary, man. Just pay a little closer attention to what's going on. My mom's used to say, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard this phrase, believe none of what you see. Excuse me, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. She used to tell me that, man. I thought I was a smart ass. My mom's was educated, man. She's looking like, well, you don't know shit. You don't know shit. Because you don't know, I'm going to tell you. You know what I mean? Believe none of what you hear, man, and only half of what you see. And then we're talking about, man, these people who supposedly are in control and running everything. It's all, it's a power thing with them, man. It's about power, man. It's about power. You tell your ass anything, man, just to get the power. And they'll kill you. They can't convince you to just give it to them. They'll kill you for it. Kill you for power, man. James says, ain't no such thing as American. Hell no. Queen Nzinga say, stall the Grams out. Yeah, that's what I'll start calling them, the Grams. I won't call them lambs no more. Well, they were lambs the other night. Those was just pitiful lambs. You get all the way down there and you can't do nothing. I don't mean to insult nobody, but I'm not a fan. James said, man, more the better, bub. However you lay it out, because I appreciate you putting 3 days in. This platform deserves 5 days a week at least. Let's wake up, people. I agree. And that's the get down. That's the get down. Got to put the work in. And I have to admit that I fell off, right, some months back. It was during the time that I realized, wait a minute, man, this is not the direction I want to go in. You know what I mean? I already knew that it would evolve, but I found myself not one, and I was just trying to understand how to go about doing it. What should I do, in terms of, making having this thing serve the people. So as I sat up and tried to figure this shit out, man, I didn't lose interest in it. I didn't participate with it, And so when I finally got back to it, videos used to get 3,000-4,000, a video, a drop, And again, man, I'm not blaming nobody. I understand that. Okay. I dropped the ball. And I dropped the ball. I think I unwittingly dropped the ball thinking, okay, I could take this time to figure out the way I want to go. I got to change this and do that. No more this, no more that, not realizing I could have done all that while I kept this going. I could have just, you know what I mean? Not just slid it in there, but man, had, boom. let it come on in there, man, not subtly either, but just come on in there, man, almost like a natural little transition. I didn't do that. But hey, work is cut out for me, for us, if y'all don't mind me saying that. And I'm all in, man. You know, I'm all in. So we're gonna get it, man. I appreciate you saying that, James. Let's wake up the people, man. You got social media, OG. Yeah, I got social media. You talking about Instagram? I don't I don't mess with TikTok no more. I'm telling y'all, they hit me with some shit the other morning. I tried to go on TikTok. They tried to tell me in order for me to go in there, I had to agree to terms of use and privacy issues or whatever. So talking with the family, we discussed what that could be, and come to find out, they're basically saying, man, anything you do on TikTok, it's not necessarily yours anymore. It's not even, can't even really be considered as intellectual property. They can use anything they want to use, how they want to use it. Da, 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 da. I was like, nah, I ain't getting down like that. You know, so I installed TikTok, but I do have Instagram. I do have what's that other one? X. I got Facebook. I'm on Facebook. What's the other one they got? Messenger. I got that one. I got a WhatsApp also. All right. And I imagine I could put all that in there as well. So, you know, brothers, and then, you know, the channel has a Gmail account. All right. So we are, you know, tapped in like that as well. So you can leave, you know, something in, you know, in the Gmail, under the Groove Gmail. All right. I'll leave that in there as well. I'll put it in there. Matter of fact, let me do that now. Excuse me. Oh shit. Okay. Let me put that in there right now, man. Yeah, we'll use this one. This one's cool. Okay, there we go. Yes, right there. So that's in there, man. Y'all can use that, man, because it's actually for that. I'll probably change the name and stuff. I'll make a new one, but that one's good. All right. So yeah, there you go, JRL. James said, man. James says, like Bub say, we can't do this alone. Everyone needs to put their best feet forward. And so true. Stay ready so you ain't got to get prepared. Real talk. JRL says, we got to start acting on unity and training, I hear. And myself and training. I hear and myself do. Get out of here. Look like a damn mosquito. Sorry, yeah. Okay, hold on. JRL says we have to start acting on unity and training. I hear and I myself do a lot of talking, but few actions being done to better our people, OG. That's true. That's true. So what I set out to do, and people, you know, can attest to this. I'm trying to touch in, man, with you know, with progressive people, positive people who want unity in the communities. I allow my podcast to be used, man, for sisters, man, or even brothers, man, if they need, you know, come on in, man, get your message out, man. I talk to cats all the time. I get stuff, you know, certain dudes send me. Well, let me put it to you like this. Certain events I will attend, certain events I won't attend. And it's not because, okay, oh, this is some gang shit or this and that. It's what's at the core of the event. You know what I mean? I don't, some things I won't support, because I think that there needs to be a little more oversight and stuff, you know, with a lot of these, you know, organizations or groups or whatever. there should be oversight, and there isn't any. So I don't want to be, associated with nobody that don't want oversight. I don't want the people to know what they're doing and why they're doing it. So there's that. But as far as getting in the fray, man, and wanting to speak to people, man, and do the things that need to be done for our brothers and sisters, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Someone say, hey man, Bub, we want to see you at Whoop the Whoop Whoop, and this is what it's about. Okay, man, give me the address. Give me the address. So I agree with you. We have to a lot less talking and a lot more acting, putting in the work. Putting in the work. That's what we need to do, bro. All right. So I don't disagree with you, young one. I appreciate that coming from you, And again, that's something that, we don't see a lot of, It's sad to say, this thing that happened this past MLK Day, man, that's some sad shit. That's some sad shit, man. That should have never happened. Another thing that should happen is another peace summit. The one that was given last year, or was that 24? I forget. That was in 24. That wasn't a peace treaty meeting. It wasn't a ceasefire meeting. A lot of people have misdescribed what that was. It wasn't that. It just wasn't that. I was there. It was about brothers just being able to come and sit down, man, and chop it up. And it went, man, it was groovy, man. It went smoothly with no issues. Everybody was there, Some people pulled up and didn't get out. I saw the faces, I'm standing out there in the street. I peeped, but hey, man, more power to them. That gathering was for brothers to come and tap in, touch bases with one another, man. Just give respect, man, Another one should have occurred a month or two later, and it didn't. Sad to say, it did not. But that shouldn't stop us from trying to put something together where we, someone want to lend us their space, a church or something, or some type of hall, and it's set up properly. Man, brothers should show up. That's step one, man. Have the right people in place, man, so that we can decide then and there what's going to come of this. What's the purpose of this? Okay, we have a purpose. Okay, now how we go about executing this plan. So I agree with you, man. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I see dudes in that gathering, man. Same dudes I see on social media, man. Jaw jacking, talking out of both sides of their necks, man. That shit's cold. If I'm asked, I would say, hey, man, only those individuals who ain't with the BS, man, should be able to come here because we want something to develop as a result of this gathering, So, yeah, I hear you loud and clear, man. We got to start acting on unity and training. This is what you're saying, JRL. I appreciate it. We got to start acting on unity and training. I hear, and I myself do a lot of talking, but few actions are being done to better our people, OG. I agree. Straight up, man. James said, man, some MFs running the prisons are the same hunkies who own slaves. Yeah, well, prisons also are private now. Shit, yeah. CDC, I don't, hey, man. Yeah. It's all to get down, man. And again, prison still is a form of slavery. Hey, thank you, JRL. Appreciate you, man, and your comments, man. Appreciate you being here today. This is Under the Groove Podcast, everybody. Most of y'all know this. This is what we call touching bases with the people on UTG, man. Like, share, comment, man. Subscribe if you see fit to this. Get down, man. You know, this get down, like I say, man, it's above board, homie. You know, we ain't with no, man, look, man, I know messy shit. I know trouble. Don't want none of it. Been there, done that, man. That's the wrong way to go. I've been that way. And get nothing from it. Get nothing from it. As a result, I'm just 10 years old. You know, I'm finally getting to grow up, be a man. So, look, man, this is where we focus on the focus. You know, we get down with the get down, man. This is where B1 equals black first. Not your set, not your street, not your hood, not your gang. You know? Not your sack, not your jury, none of that. Here, man, B1 comes first. Black is first, man. There it is. So I appreciate you again, Gerald, for tapping in with us, man. Thank you. Trigger Bird. What's the word, Trigger Bird? How you doing, loved one? Appreciate seeing you in this get down, bro. You already know that, right? I'll send mine right back to you, loved one. Real spit. Real spit. All right? Take care of yourself as you have been doing, man. Fight the good fight, homie. You know, fight the good fight, man. You was up in them stoops with us, man. You've been out in these streets, man. And I'm telling you, man, don't know brother, man. This is not any brother, man or woman, any black man or woman want to wake up to every day and be going through. We need brothers to fight the good fight, man. Like JRL said, man. Let's fight the good fight, man. Need brothers like you in this get down, bro. Real spit. That's the truth, man. All right, you guys. On that note, I got a lot of work to do. Like I said, I'm in this thing now, 10 toes down, man. My grand rising, man, has been one of man's satisfaction. You know, I'm here, home. I'm here. I'm fucking here. I'm not beat that, man. I'm able to do this. Don't nothing beat that, man. You know, a lot of y'all call it a blessing. I'm saying that too. I think I'm fortunate, you know, just to be able to do this, man. All right. I'm doing what I love doing this, man. I love tapping in with the people. And like the homie said, JRL, man, I want to do more. I want to now rub elbows with the people. You know, I'll go sit down on anybody's table, man, and we can chop it up, man, in terms of how to get this thing up and running. We can talk about it, but let's be about it. That's what I'm on, man. So on that note, man, I bid everybody, man, a good night. You know, love yourself so that you can love the person that needs that love the most, man. If you got it within, you're going to give it without. You're going to go outward, man. Take care of yourself so that you could take care of those who need taken care of the most. Real spit, man. Know that, man, the power is in the people. B1 equals black first, man. Power in the people, man. You are, you have been, and you will be under the groove. One love, everybody. See you tomorrow. Same time.
Count the names, count the bodies, count the victory. Cullen Hughes, Hurston writing future history. From the Apollo to the Borough to the Sphere. Where the echo of those Harlem nights still ringing clear. So when they ask what happened in those tenement flats, between the spirituals and where consciousness is at, tell them we transformed suffering to scholarship and song. Tell them we've been telling you we're brilliant all along. The Renaissance will prologue every decade since the sequel. Every black child born's continuation of the people who survived the Middle Passage, survived the Jim Crow laws and built magnificence from nothing but their vision and their flaws. That's in the sergeant. This is once a less than. Had this and Mercedes. Please don't you, I can't stop us. Power sensitive, but to the applause. for pose. DJ the toes and constantly problem when the wet just wanna build the season big. Now don't get the pause. It's just erasing up the times, pleading walking soft the main. Nigga on the fans, turning neck and love the durn. Suffers like a kisher. You went from the preaching up on side is each alone, bitch on the shit and untrue seeing vet someone that varied it's on Gary Land. Be hell in heaven, you see what the banner vin. You wait something for the marker, make the key to pull the club and saw the boards to the sang of land is carried open slowly. Keep us looking on my mother, break your channel, resi more than he and let the peasant be. It's every time we keep a spawn.